Right, we are into this game here. And the chat bans are posted in the Twitch chat for you guys there. Pantheon, Kha'Zix, Leona, and Kassadin were banned out. Pantheon just always being a pretty strong pick. Leona being banned out because Zounds plays a pretty damn good Leona. Kassadin, just, better to leave him off the table if you don't have someone who can play him. And Kha'Zix, because Obama Bug is a rude lord and change is bad.
We'll point out Leona was banned by Zounds, so I don't know. He wasn't banned against Zounds.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, Zounds banned himself because he's Zounds and he's silly.
They do ban the Karma again. Afro said in pre-game chat that if you ban Karma, he's going to rage, so we shall see what happens. He is known for his Karma, though, so... Karma and Jarvan are the two things that he plays a lot. And Annie, I think. Which was also banned.
Yeah, so they're hard targeting Afro there. They really just don't want him to play at all. So
the last one was Jarvan. Wukong and Talon being banned by purple team, Cunning Stunts. Blue team is Benchwarmers, and they won DD last week, rather handily actually, against... who did they play? They played Dongo Ninjas, that's right. They're not playing this week.
Was it Dongo in the finals, or was it Clueless?
They went through Clueless earlier.
Okay, yeah, and then they ran up. Oh, right, I was playing for them last week, too. How did I forget that?
The block being the last ban, which leaves Nidalee open, and Zounds does take her. So, another Nidalee.
And Teemo is also on the table. You definitely do not want to go against Teemo and Nidalee, because that is a lot of jungle control with those traps, even though Teemo's mushrooms have been nerfed. Nid Teemo is pretty much you control the jungle, and the enemy cannot walk anywhere in the jungle anymore. So they may really want to pick that up, but they are going to opt for the Lulu. And that is also a really strong pick that got left open, and they're going to go for the Vi. Still another really, really good pick. So we will see what Benchwarmers try to do in retaliation to this.
Sam is their bot laner, guarantee you. So he is picking last. So the other three guys that pick are going to be up in top lane, so we can see their team comp pretty soon.
Mm-hmm.
It would be very difficult to go against Nidalee and Teemo. I'm just not sure.
Afro.
Banned Afro.
He was just trolling.
This is rather close to the lock-in time there.
Yeah, I would have laughed if the client bugged and locked him into Kha'Zix. We would have had to remake the room.
Dr. Mundo pickup by way.
Yeah, Zounds will probably be playing that Mundo because he is known for his tanks. He really likes to play those, and Mundo is kind of like a standard. Like, when I see Zounds on the team, I normally think, or MMKH even, Mundo is going to be on that team. But no, they're actually going to go for the Brand and the Jarvan. They do not want them to have that Leona Vi, or not Leona Vi, excuse me, Jarvan Vi. That is a very scary combo to go against. And they are going to be picking up that Brand for the Cataclysm and the AoE damage. With Brand, it's going to be pretty scary here. So, let's see how Purple Team is going to react to these picks. They do have the good engage with Vi. They do want to have some form of strong, hard engage to shut down that Nidalee. They really don't want to try to play the poking game against that and Brand. That is a very scary game that you are not going to win.
Curious to see what Beast is going to play, because as far as I know, the two things that he plays the most are Talon and Nidalee, and Nidalee's picked by the other team, and Talon they banned. So I think he also plays Ezreal.
That is the second game they've banned Talon themselves instead of leaving them open. I know you know of Armed Weasel, who is also a really good Talon player, and most of the time teams would ban Talon against us and forcing Weasel to play something else. But whenever we did get Weasel on Talon, it was a very scary thing to see. Just really, really, really good with that Talon.
Take a Maokai here.
Well, that is a pretty good pick into the Brand. It's going to be able to shut down a lot of his damage. Taking 20% almost off of Pyroclasm is going to keep a lot of teammates alive. Most of the time, Brand relies on that initial burst to just kill something outright, and with that Maokai ultimate, they will be able to stay alive with it.
And now we have the Mundo highlighted again, so we can lock in this time.
I definitely think the Mundo is going to be locked in, but the Brand and Jarvan probably took precedence over that.
If he does have Mundo locked in, they only have Jarvan up top for AoE or for AD damage. So Sam with the insta lock of Gragas there.
Yeah, Gragas being that really strong bot laner and being able to roam top incredibly easily, but that body slam cooldown being low because of all the CDR we pick up on Dominion. Now let's see how Monster's going to retaliate. He does have the counter pick here, so he can pick against Sam. And
Gragas is still a very hard champion to counter pick.
yeah, it's really tough. Ever since Evelynn got nerfed pretty hard, it's been difficult to pick something into him. Do you still think she could win that matchup?
Not if he knows what he's doing. You just change the way that you build. Gragas Malzahar is not someone that's a counter. Yeah, I'd be hesitant to take that pick into Gragas. The thing is, Gragas can build tanky or he can build bursty, and so he can change the way he builds depending on what his lane opponent is. And I don't really think Evelynn... I mean, maybe pure late game where she could blow him up, but he'd have the advantage most of the time elsewhere. He is going to lock in that Malzahar.
It is going to be a very...
If anybody was watching the finals last week, Sauron took Malzahar against, I believe, Sam's Gragas.
Yep, he did.
Did not work out so well for him. So
it was very difficult. There was a lot of roaming bot, and it was very hard for us to deal with that.
We do have a pair of CVs. Oh, I can't say anything yet. Sorry.
Shh, can't talk about that yet.
Summoner spells.
Everyone's running heal and barrier. Yep. This is meta breaking stuff you're seeing right here. Two decently strong Dominion teams are all running heal and barrier. Everyone run into solo queue right now and do it.
Everyone's going to be... Who was Moral Sinistral? Except for I think he was heal ignite.
Oh yeah, Moral always runs heal ignite in the solo queue. Everyone's always used to seeing him with that. Yeah, so that Gragas in the bot lane, it's pretty difficult to deal with. I've run into that matchup a few times myself, and it's really hard because he can sit back and poke. He has really good wave clear for when you push him to tower. You can't really dive him because he just knocks you away. And when he does want to all in you and kill you, he can. So
80 Malzahar used to have a pretty decent time against him, but then they changed his E so that it made it so that it's actually got less counterplay against it. So because the way 80 Malzahar would work is he'd have his minions around him, and so it would
reduce the damage.
Reduce the damage of E. Now that doesn't happen anymore. The damage free is applied to everything he hits, so he just kills all the minions, and then 80 Malzahar really can't do anything. Yeah,
it doesn't split that damage anymore like it used to. That was a very interesting change by Riot. I never fully understood that because it felt like Gragas had more of a... It gave him more of a skill ceiling to get those really good body slams and get that extra full damage in. And now it's just kind of like, I body slam into them and they...
I mean, they changed the skill ceiling so that now you have to hit a target in order to drop the cooldown, but it's not all that difficult to hit a target unless you're just flat out running away, which I guess they wanted to hit down on his escapability.
Or just mobility around the map in general. But even on Summoner's Rift, when you're sitting on blue buff, and most of the time Gragas will grab Athenes, that's still upwards of 30% plus CDR, and you're going to be able to have a 7-second cooldown on it regardless.
Well, it's a 14-second cooldown if you don't hit anything, so 40% off of that's like 9-ish. So
yeah, true.
It's just, you cut it in half if you do hit a target, so it's very, very much a good thing to do. Like I was saying before, I should have been saying it, we have 2 clairvoyances. So clairvoyance is something that I was curious why it hadn't caught on a bit more. I was talking about this last week because Hextech Sweeper and Grez's Lantern being nerfed as hard as they were, I would think that vision item or the vision spells would catch on a bit more. We do only have 1 exhaust over on blue team's side, but they only have Vi as far as 80 damage goes top, so they may only need the 1 exhaust.
Yeah, we will see. Both teams really AP heavy. It's very, very interesting. With the Jarvan, Jarvan being the only AD tank, which, Riot, please, we need a few more AD initiators. I guess Vi could be considered as one as well.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure if the icing goes almost pure glass on him, and he can get away with it this game, especially because they already have Mundo as a tank, so he's going to be more damagey than tanky. Just the W is going to be tank.
But yeah, you could see a lot of MR coming out from both sides. It's going to cut Nidalee's damage pretty hard. Snide might have some trouble dealing damage with Brand, but although his Brand was very scary last week, I can tell you firsthand going against it. So
Yeah, I think that's why they picked up the Maokai for Afro, so that he could do something against that, but it's still going to be a lot of damage up there.
That was also the mistake we did make last week, is we went with the... what did we pick instead? We were saying pick Maokai, and Popple said to pick something else. I can't remember what we picked for that first game, but if we would have had Maokai, I think we could have... No, it wasn't the Darius. It was whatever Mike was playing last week. Because we put...
memory, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Because we had chunks on Darius, and I was playing the Elise, and I was chunking down the Mundo really hard. But... what was Mike on? He was either on Leona...
Oh, the first game was on Rammus.
Rammus, that's what it was. We put him on Rammus, and we were saying we should have taken the Maokai instead. Because the Maokai would have helped out with the AoE damage, and we picked the Rammus to try to single out something, but that didn't work out at all.
So we shall see what happens here. I don't think Monster plays AD Malzahar, so I'm expecting this to be AP bot lane. Which, even though AD Malzahar still has got problems against Gragas, I think he does better than AP. AP essentially has to burst Gragas down, and due to Gragas' barrel, his barrel that he throws for his ultimate, it makes it difficult for Malzahar to time his ultimate correctly.
Yeah.
Gragas' ultimate is already being cast when Malzahar ults him. It will interrupt Malzahar's ultimate by knocking him aside.
And then once Malzahar loses that ult, he has lost a majority of his damage, and that will hurt quite a bit.
That combined with the fact that Gragas' W still reduces his 18% damage done, so he can be slightly tanky even without building tank.
Yeah, that scaling damage reduction, that'll be really, really helpful. Alright, well, we are loaded into the game. So let's see what these buys are going to be. I'm expecting pretty standard Prospector's Rings, some Dorans on the tanks, health gems. Maokai might go Catalyst, or he'll go for Pro Ring. I know there's a pretty big debate over which one is better.
It's Pro Ring.
No, it's Rod of Ages, dude. It's always Rod of Ages.
Welcome to the Crystal Skull.
You have all Prospector's items on Benchwarmers. Mundo's got the Ruby Crystal on the door ends. So all Prospectors except for Mundo. And Malzahar has gone into utility.
He has.
Pick up the biscuit.
I don't know if he spec'd full utility, because you can still reach the biscuit with only 9 points.
Right. He might be
So,
2109.
Yeah, he might be running 2109 as well.
I feel like with AP Malzahar you have to do that because your objective is to burn them down. Utility doesn't really help all that much. All the way down to the bottom of utility.
Yeah.
And Malzahar's going to go, or Maokai's going to go Catalyst.
That good old Rod of Ages rush.
Got to him and told him the wrong way to build Maokai.
It is the right way to build Maokai, my friend. Because once that rod starts stacking, he becomes that scary, scary tank, and he doesn't need that much ability power to deal the damages.
His standard Sam's going to walk over to the other side, which is something you see a lot of people do at high Void. Tries to give your team the respawn boost. Vi did it as well, so no one's going to get
end
it.
up at 496,
It's going to be 496.
Yeah, what happens when you do that is you put your points lower than your opponents, and that will give you a respawn timer advantage. So it's oh geez, and Sam just going ham in bot lane. He might actually be able to get him with this. He's got that next barrel up in just a second. Oh, he didn't even need it. Well then.
Yeah, that's one thing about Gragas, having played him quite a bit. It's very difficult for anybody to take him at like level 3 or level 4.
Yeah, he's got that extra AD from the drink, and then that boosts his E damage from the... because he has 2 ratios on that for AP and AD. And it looks like Benchwarmers... I don't know, this windmill fight is not quite over yet. That Maokai looking to try to get one more kill maybe before going down. Very nice heal off the passive.
Lulu's coming up, so is Mundo. I think due to the fact that they're gonna have to rotate bot because actually Malzahar died again. So yeah, Benchwarmers is gonna pick this up.
Sam showing off some pro Gragas strats.
The thing with Sam that he also does is he puts 2 ranks in Q to start, and so then his level 3 engage is really hard.
Oh yes, that barrel will explode and it will blow you up.
Lulu coming around to gank Gragas, but
Gragas is not so easy to gank.
Yeah, he's just going to kite him around a little bit down there, and Red Team might be able to get a good advantage on this. They are pushing really hard, trying to get that Nidalee down. So close. She is going to escape.
15 hit points.
Almost. And Zounds is also going to be able to walk away. Low health, not quite being able to finish off that kill. Very, very close.
Snide Sentinel's going to pick up Beast on Vi, and Ziggs is in a very bad position.
Oh, Ziggs, you are in a place you don't want to be. There's a lot of people that are going to beat you up. And Vi did pop the revive to try and run out and help a bit, but they are getting pushed back way too hard. Some very, very good pressure coming out here from Benchwarmers.
They got the advantage early, and they just started pushing it. Sam let them be able to do it with a couple kills in bot lane there. I think they had won the windmill fight regardless. Jarvan's going to engage onto Maokai, and actually Zounds just DC'd.
So Zounds going to walk away. Mundo just decides to play when he wants to.
Mundo will go walk away now.
And Mundo's like, you know what, guys? I'm just going to break the game. I'm going to, run back to base. So we do have the pause coming out here.
Maokai is going really hard for that Rod of Ages. He didn't even bother to get boots, so...
Yeah, at this point, well, when you're pushed right in front of your base, you don't really need boots to try to get out to somewhere faster, so it's not a terrible idea. He's trying to get that extra damage out for his team to keep the enemy back, but we'll see.
And Malzahar has actually come up here to try to help his team, but it's still going to be just a 3v3. It's actually a 4v3 if Dr. Mundo decides to come back and fight. And Gragas is going to be able to get that bot point neutralized, I think.
Yep, he has no one to contest him. Maokai isn't up for 20 more seconds, and he does not have revive to get down there to cover for Malzahar. So,
yeah, he's not going to be able to turn the top fight because it's 4v4, so means Dr. Mundo comes back. So, I don't know if that was the right move. We're going to have to. He's going to have to get back there pretty fast in order to stop Gragas from neutralizing it. I don't think he's going to be able to. I can't really tell how many people are down there because I can't really.
Yeah, I can't move the map right myself.
Gragas can stack up minions really fast. We know what he's doing, and Sam definitely does.
Alright, so Zounds has reconnected, so we are going to get back into this game here. And Cunning Stunts needs to be really, really careful in this fight here. If they can turn this fight, they might be able to. And the ult going down, but he cancels it. Oh, he had way on lockdown right there. That would have been a free Nidalee.
I guess he decided to try to come back and stop Gragas.
Yeah, he must have looked at the map during the pause and immediately thought, I need to get back down to bot lane, but that could have been a free Nidalee kill, and that now Nidalee is healing herself back up, coming down here to pressure bot lane.
Man is down here as well, and he does get the stun on Malzahar. Vi picked up Nidalee, but it's still 2 versus 1 on Vi, and she's not going to be able to do anything there, and midpoint is also going to be taken. This is going to be a 5-cap.
Yep, and I think they're going to very easily be able to hold on to us. They're all looking very, very healthy. And a little bit of a whiffed barrel there by Sam. But I think Snide should be able to clean this up pretty alright. Maybe? Oh, and Beast is going to run right into the Jarvan.
Maokai is going to get mid back in next time. Taking all sorts of poke here and damage, and they're going to have a hard time getting their bot lane back right now. Malzahar has managed to finish Brand off.
Yeah, trying to keep them pinned inside their base as long as they can with this 5-cap. Again, we talked about it earlier, those 5-caps just eating away at the points, and they're still 4-capped right now, which is going to take away about 2 points every 2 seconds, which is a lot more than you want to be losing.
Yeah, it's still a lot different than a 5-cap. 5 points for every 2 seconds versus 2 points for every 2 seconds. It's a huge difference.
Yeah, so even if you can only hold on to 1 point, it's better than losing every single point.
They get the quest spawn immediately, so
wow.
Try to protect the mid there.
That is quite a bummer there. That quest RNG kind of messing you up.
It wasn't really RNG there because it was 5 minutes. It was past 5 minutes for quest.
That's
spawn,
true.
And that was the first point that they got. It was the only point for quest to spawn on. So
yeah, we have annihilated some of the RNG in the quest system, but it still can be a little wonky at times in terms of where it spawns. And ooh, beautiful spear by Wei, picking off that Maokai there.
Still 3 versus 3 up here. Dr. Mundo's down.
Well, they could try to push out for something, but I think they need to regroup and heal. Sam just putting so much pressure in the bot lane. Ooh, and a very nice catch by Beast. He might be able to make something happen. He is going to be ulting onto Snide, and I don't know if they're going to be able to finish off that kill. Snide is just going to be sitting back. And can Lulu get another Glitter Lance off in time? She will, but at the cost of her life. Is his team going to be able to clean this up? Here comes Ziggs Bomb. It will blow up the Jarvan. And they need to try and go get that top lane right now, because there are some death timers sitting around, and there's a lot of pressure. Oh,
Malzahar should be able to hold. Nice, actually grab there.
very, very good.
Malzahar's got enough weight because he should be able to hold against him at the stalemate at the very least. He just has to be careful as to how far he pushes on. Got a bit of chasing going on here with Nidalee and Mundo. I think you got to get a point.
Yeah, they're really trying to focus on just clearing out these kills, and they really could have just abandoned that fight at any point in time and run up to top to grab that quest. But, oh, careful, Beast. That is a Brand you are running after, and he is going to kite you. Malzahar trying to get some zoning off, throwing that Malefic Visions down onto Mundo.
I'm not sure why. No, they didn't get the interrupt. I'll say Lulu could have interrupted. That is that all 5 of them there? That's all 5 of them in the bot lane.
This is just a Super 5 bot lane.
They're fighting back and forth, but they're bleeding points right now. You gotta get something going on here.
Yeah, no one's sitting top, and they have a really good wave pushing up there as well, but they're just continuing to run into this bot lane. I just don't think that's going to work out for them.
Dr. Mundo isn't even down here. He's the top 2 of them, and
Yeah, Mundo already went up top to clear out those minions there.
that point does get neutralized.
And it looks like BFT is going to be used on Vi there. She is going to back off before she gets hit with another body slam, and ooh, the ultimate!
Oh!
Oh, the body
he hit
slam.
him while she was in the middle of her ultimate.
Yep, that was very nicely done there. And the BFT and Ignite going down onto Brand, that should be able to finish him off with the Malefic Visions.
Brand did see that Malzahar's Voidling was there, so he was able to bounce the ultimate off of the Voidling between him and Malzahar, which did a lot of damage to
Yeah, that is a very nice play there. And Zoun's just being that tanky Mundo, not caring about the turret too much. He doesn't have much armor, so that tower is going to hit him a little bit harder than normal, but they are Dominion towers, so they still don't hurt that bad.
The minions, however, do hurt.
Yes, minions hurt quite a bit. Oh, what are you going to do, Ziggs? Are you going to finish this off? Nope, and there's
He's
a
trying to hang on here. Oh, I think he
Run
might have
away!
got close to Brand.
Oh,
He
the
dodges it.
Oh, the
did not
stun
dodge.
finishing him off.
That was weird on my screen. The Brand
stun
actually
vanished.
disappeared. Yeah.
Yeah. Vanished on mine as well.
And Malzahar's about to get a dunking party, courtesy of Jarvan.
This is looking pretty scary here. Here comes the EQ and the ultimate, and good night, Malzahar. That Assassin Jarvan just deals so much damage.
Maokai is a good whole champion, but with the Blackfire Torch and the way Sam's already been fed,
Yeah, it's going to be very difficult. Oh, he did manage to get one,
take him down.
but the Nidalee Spear coming in to polish that off.
Meanwhile, top lane, yeah, it's still 2 versus 2. He's not gonna be able to take it back.
Especially not with a Brand and a Mundo sitting on that point. That is very difficult to deal with.
That was actually a very good setup. Brand used his ultimate, so it forced them to split, and then Zounds and Snide both went on Lulu.
The Lulu, yeah. Very nicely done taking out that Brand, but that Mundo just gonna... Oh, Brand got the kill still.
OP passive.
Mm-hmm.
Malzahar is trying to get away from going back. I don't think he's got enough damage to finish her, though.
Not quite.
He did go for the BFT, and then I think he's going for Leandries, maybe? Or maybe he's grabbing a Haunted Guise.
He might be going for a Guise.
Yeah, not going for Leandries. Informers is in a bad position up top here. 4 versus 2.
Yeah, and that Mundo can only tank so much before he goes down, but he is probably just going to walk right out of this. But Jarvan is going to fall.
Goes where he pleases.
Mundo's just like, I don't want to fight, I'm going to run this way. And very nicely done. They were able to corner off the Ziggs coming in, but Ziggs does have revive. He's coming right back out. So let's see if they're going to be able to get something out of this. Lukewarm trying to get some damage down on that Nidalee and finish her off, but she does have that Athene's. Oh, very good grab there, and I think Monster is going to go down at bot as well.
He has revive, he should be able to hold it. Lulu and Vi, I didn't know if they were going to be able to do it or not, because Brand had got some pretty good Pokemon to them, and a nice ult.
Oh, very good Lulu ultimate, keeping him alive there. Nicely done. And Luke just trying to stay alive. He's got a Mundo and a Nidalee on him. And they're going to be able to clean that one up as well.
It's a tough combo to run away from because Mundo's slow, makes Nidalee's spears almost impossible to miss.
Oh man, and Maokai just going to try and sit on this point. The Mundo ultimate is up, so he's going to be getting a lot of his health back right now. And Vi jumping in onto that Nidalee, and look at that damage, just tearing her apart. That Q is going to be back up again. Is going to be able to land it. Oh, so close. But they are going to try and turn on this Mundo.
They're going to have to make a play right now. They don't have enough time to do anything else.
Yeah, they need to start capping that point immediately. And it looks like Monster might actually have Sam on the defensive. He is pushing him back, and Sam is at half health. If he can get that going... Oh, that's stun actually on top. Taking down that Vi, and it seems like the Brand ultimate is going to be finishing off most of them.
That's going to be game. They don't have enough time to do anything.
Yep, that is game.
And Monster is actually going to take damage. At the very end. If he had another 10 seconds, he could have gotten the point back.
Yeah, so close.
Well, no, he didn't, because Gragas has survived.
Yeah. Alrighty, so now we are off to the finals. Still pretty nicely done. They managed to hold out better than most teams would in that situation when they have that much pressure being applied to them.
Let's see. Damage dealt is Brand by 200 over Jarvan. And then Nidalee is third place there. So all top three damages come from Benchwarmers. And then the time spent dead is going to also be Brand by one. Oh, no, never mind. I lied. It's Ziggs. Brand is 5 seconds behind Ziggs.
Ah.
I'm not sure if Clueless and the Bads, yes, Clueless and the Bads are done with their match. So the finals will be Benchwarmers and Clueless.
Oh man, let's see if Clueless can have their revenge this week against Benchwarmers. Because they got knocked out before, I think, even the semis, if I remember correctly.
Did. It was a very good game. It was very close. It was 60-0, if I recall correctly. So we shall see what happens this time.
Alrighty.
And we will be back with the finals in just a moment.